My vagina is a shell, a round pink tender shell, opening and closing, closing and opening. My vagina is a flower, an eccentric tulip, the scent acute and deep, the scent delicate, the petals gentle but sturdy. I did not always know this. I auditioned for the Vagina Monologues in college for the same reason I assume anyone does, to impress the cool lesbians. As a 20-year-old with a soft pixie cut and a compulsion to cover my cleavage, I saw the radical dykes on campus as the pinnacle of womanhood. Whatever that meant, I wasn't even sure. But I'd see Carmen Rios, the president of the women's group on campus, with her fluffy armpit hair and her platform combat boots on the front lines of every protest and quad tabling, and I thought, yeah, she looks like she knows something I don't. I wanted to know all of their secrets of the world. What made them so powerful, so confident, so fucking cool. And it's not just because I had a crush on half of them, which is the definition of being bisexual. I wanted to be accepted by them, molded by them, changed by them. One afternoon between classes, I gravitated towards their table in the Student Life Center, and I couldn't even look the chocolate vagina candies in the eye. As I awkwardly paced around the folding table, the director turned to me and asked, "Are you ready to get into your vagina?" And I lied, yes. After auditions, the director told us that she would cast the show based on what she saw in us, not exclusively on how we performed. Casting would be more about fitting personas than playing a specific role. And she swore sometimes the pieces magically just fill a hole. You know, they bring something out in us that no one was expecting. They enlighten us. I was expecting to share the spotlight in a group piece that covered something serious and tragic, like the vibe I was so clearly giving off as a cool girl. I was always more of a dance ensemble or chorus type of theater kid than someone confident in the spotlight. So when the casting email went out, I was a little surprised to see I was in a solo piece called The Workshop. I immediately Googled it, watched 1,000 versions of it. It's a popular piece, one of its classic monologues. The story is about a woman who attends something called a vagina workshop, where she sits in a circle with a hand mirror, looks into her vagina, looks into other women's vaginas, and then, laying there on a little blue mat, she has her first real, meaningful orgasm. But as I watched version after version of middle-aged women donning uptight British accents, humorously flailing around like an electrocuted fish, it occurred to me, oh my God, the lesbians think I'm fucking lame. It was bestowed upon me to have the greatest performance challenge of any of our adolescences. Trick people into thinking that you fuck. As a round-faced teen in suburban Raleigh, I probably was the coolest girl in my Bible study. I had a very hideable tattoo when I turned 18, and I had been finger blasted by 2 different genders before college, which, I'm sorry, in 2010 was still a big deal. But moving to DC, a big city, a new phase of adulthood, and meeting real activists and artists and women felt like that tattoo was maybe not as noticeable as I thought. And maybe those encounters of fingers would someday be unnoticeable too. But it was like the director was on to me, you know? Like she and all those middle-aged British women were giving me a condescending little wink to let loose. So I took rehearsals more seriously, obviously. Vaginas are a serious matter, after all, as am I. The Vagina Monologues cast was a collage of women I didn't know from the rest of campus. During practice, we would bond over the monologues, each of us uncovering something new in our own pieces. We would stay late through difficult triggers and talk through uncomfortable topics. We cried, we held each other. We blew off steam at karaoke by scream singing Goodbye Earl or dancing in someone's living room until all the boxed wine was gone. I bloomed each new day following the sunshine. Rehearsals, however, not so bright. The piece would run smoothly, even after I agreed to do a passing British accent, until the orgasm at the end, when the narrator finally accepts the encouragement of the group of women and releases all of her uptight tension. When the director told me to be more authentic, my moans were, coin tight. When she told me to play it up more, it sounded porny and cartoonish. I don't know, I just couldn't hit that release that she so desperately wanted me to. Some vulnerability required to really open up to the sound of a fake first real orgasm. Frustrated by my giggling, the director asked, "Have you ever had a real orgasm before?" And I froze. Yeah, of course I've had a real orgasm before. I know my way around a bathtub faucet. When I read the piece again, she raised an eyebrow when I stumbled through the section. I didn't raise my hand because they were accidental orgasms. They happened